anything that comes close to the truth is simple. The very first step Baba guides is for the being to die to the mind. Because until I, the soul, do not step out of the concepts, there will be no clarity. So Baba offers his company, which creates a field of absolute silence. And in that silence, I, the being, can know myself as I am without the concepts. And what life is without the concepts. Because in this field of silence, I surrender the sound of the mind. And mind is not a problem. It becomes very clear. It is the importance it is given. And because of the immersion in the mind, that the being comes into a bondage of thoughts. See in this moment, if there are no thoughts to talk about you, to tell you who you are you still there? Mind can create ideas about who you are, about what life is, but cannot be the self. That is why Baba comes here And he says that the door to all the misery and suffering is the wrong idea, the wrong notion of the self. And most deeply ingrained wrong notion of the self is in I am doing, I am thinking. And so Baba says, just stop saying, I am doing, I am thinking, me and mine. At least at the level of words, start somewhere. Then, as your understanding of yourself becomes more and more and more subtle, then you will know the difference and the power to discern between the changeless self, the still self, and the changeful experience. There's no room for intellect to work if the soul doesn't step out of the narratives and the concepts of the mind. If that first step is not taken, then mind is using the intellect, not the soul. Mind is using it. It's like it has usurped the whole kingdom from the king. And created its own army, which is why the being, as soon as Baba comes in his life, to wake him up, awaken, don't waste a moment, and know your truth. Immediately, as Baba tells you, you don't need any proof. You don't need any DNA testing. Just know your godlike truth. The bodiless truth. As you go through the motion of the activities, what is your sense of self? Who's going through these motions of ever-changing kaleidoscope of activities? Not necessarily just physical, but also mental and emotional processes. Discern the difference between the self and the non-self over and over again. It is from that being the apple of Baba's eyes. From there you see. Om Shanti. Shanti. I wanted to read this part of the Murli, which we missed in the Hindi class. So I'll read it here, which I think is very important. And it is, Baba said, this year, Bap Dada is giving this special blessing. Use everything in a worthwhile way and experience multi-million-fold success. You can attain this instant fruit easily. You just have to have an honest heart. Child, Bap Dada, the Bholanath Father, is easily pleased with an honest heart. Therefore, use everything in a worthwhile way. Bap Dada does not want any of it. How do I know that I'm sitting here with an honest heart? How do I know if I'm sitting here with an honest heart?
Because soul knows nothing is mine. That is the honesty and in the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sense of self. Honesty comes.
There will be no duality. There will be no question or any doubt. There will be like absolute clarity and faith, firm faith.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here with the honest heart in Baba's class with no expectation with Baba, just to enjoy the great moments with Baba. That's it. That's being honest heart.
Mm-hmm. One had mentioned this in the class in the morning, if anybody remembers.
ओम शांति।
Om Shanti.
जैसे बाबा कहते हैं, बच्ची तू तो बीज है लेकिन तेरा झाड़ में ये है दाग धब्बे, तो तू इसको स्वीकार करते हो, इसको स्वीकृति देते हो। तो जब मैं इसको स्वीकार करती हूँ माना हाँ ऑनेस्ट हूँ मैं, ऐसे
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, accepting your truth and then also accepting your tree. Yeah.
जी।
Yeah. Very good, very close. Let me look at the chat. Yeah. Yeah. When you're sitting here to serve the self, you're sitting here with the honest heart. Remember? Yeah. Only when you're entering every scene with this very clear, I don't want to use the word aim, with this very clear vision that I'm here only for self-service. Then can you truly be honest? Yeah? And as was
So Devashri always steal the show, and and Devashri always steal the show. And someone told me from coming to Madhuban, she stayed there for 15 days. She was saying, ki, I was serving, I went for this service, and new souls, and they were kind of sticking to me. So this one, I don't know, very innocently, I never wanted to refute. On the phone, I said, you never went to serve anyone. I said, you went to serve yourself. Then she says, how? I said, this is how. Obviously, if you've done something, Baba made you instrument, you want some good, great wishes from them. You serve yourself. And she was kind of, how you can say this? I said, I don't know. This is a new understanding. So even in Madhuban, we are not going to serve as sevadaris. So this is understanding. So thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Always checking yourself. I am the seed. What is happening to the tree inside of me? That's it. Then you're with an honest heart. Otherwise, you're not with an honest heart. Cannot be. Just cannot be. So that's why Baba is saying, Bapdada does not want any of it accumulated for yourself. Bapdada is the bestower. To use something in a worthwhile way means to accumulate that, because according to the time, Bapdada was looking at your account of accumulation. So when nothing can be more or less in the soul, what is accumulating?
With awareness for a longer period of time?
Yeah, very good. You are Truly just making sure this is a long period of time practice. Practice means attention. Attention over a long period of time.
Sister, can you repeat the question? Didn't hear the question. Hear her answer. Somehow didn't get the whole
Yeah,
thing.
Baba said, accumulate it for yourself. What are you accumulating? Attention over a long period of time. That is all.
And sister, also, isn't that like all the virtues or the powers, that you're using your original virtues?
Are you accumulating? Can you add more to it?
No. So I'm not saying, so just saying that when we are using our virtues and original, we come from a place of original truth and we're using them over and over again. So then we have
Know you're using?
experience.
Do you
So
know you're using?
when you're in the drama or in the situation and you're able to, you have the power to tolerate or you power to accommodate, and you have the experience of that over a long period of time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The understanding here was so using the knowledge, using your virtues, and using all the powers that you have, and not having in a constant, like Baba says, the more experience you have and being constant.
Mm-hmm. This is what she's saying, but she's saying you don't even know you're using. You're just using because that's who you are, right? I'm not using power to tolerate, thinking I am using power to tolerate, right?
Just really,
Sorry?
it's happening naturally.
It's just happening naturally. So being who you are over a long period of time.
Without getting caught up with the mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is all. So being who you are means that automatically everything is being used. I don't even need to mention I use this power to love or power to this. Yes, we can once in a while just really experience this and share it. That power to love encompasses all other powers. Yes. And in that power for the self, power to love the self, which is natural for the being, because being is naturally source of love. Yeah. And then to be able to share it naturally with others. It is so powerful, right? Yes, absolutely. But it is more happening as natural state of the being over a long period of time. That is really accumulating. It's not like I'm becoming more loveful or I'm becoming more tolerant. It will feel like I'm becoming more tolerant, but it's just what I am is already emerging from, which was hiding, is now emerging. So I'm always full of all virtues and all powers. It cannot become more or less. But it's just that who I am, I'm being constant peace, constant love, whatever you want to call as virtues, in a natural way over a long period of time. So this is very important, accumulating, Kelly. Yeah, to be who you are over a long period. So Bap Dada is the bestower. To use something in a worthwhile way means to accumulate that, because according to the time, Bap Dada was looking at your account of accumulation. Bap Dada has the account of accumulation of all you children with him. What did Baba see in your accounts of accumulation? Many children say and believe that they have accumulated many things. Externally, they say that they have accumulated a great deal. But in Father's account of accumulation of each of you, there is very much less than what each of you say or believe there to be. Why? It has to do with the first lesson of I and the consciousness of mine. First lesson of I. So I'm not even living as me throughout the day. Just see, as you are going through the activities through the day, who is going through this motion? Hmm? Who is going through this motion? Hmm?
Is it mind?
Sorry? I don't know
Is
who's.
it mind?
Is it mind? I hope it's not mind and it's soul using the mind. Yeah?
If the person is using it, then there's heaviness and I did it, I'm doing this. But if the soul is doing, very aware that it's separate from the body and is just playing a part and just doing, coming the act for the namesake, and there's no consciousness of mine and I,
Is it
then the soul
possible
is doing.
to have both and still be able to, because this is becoming very black and white, right? If I say I have no consciousness of I and mine, then that means I'm using the mind, right? Or if I am a soul, then that means it's not the person, the soul using the mind. Is it really that black and white?
No, it could be both happening parallel in the mind.
Can the soul be aware of the self and still be aware of the I and mine going on in the mind?
Mhm.
That is
That's
even
what
more
happens.
accurate.
That's what
Because,
happens more.
yeah, to be honest, when we have to be very careful, this is where it becomes very subtle, huh? There is one school of thinking, one school of thought is it's either soul or ego using the mind. Is it true?
Mhm.
Is it
And
true?
no, it could be both parallel. You could see both of them.
Actually, I, the being, can see the ego trying to use the mind. That is how awake and changeless and aware I am. Because if it's either or, you will always be lost. Maybe a few moments here, there, you may be awake.
Just a question here. If
Mm-hmm.
you see falling in the script, you see that it's going into the script.
Mm-hmm.
What state that you will call like mixed, or like seeing is falling in the ditch, seeing that?
Yeah. So I would say the beginning of awakening. You're able to see that you're falling. Earlier you were falling, you did not know you were falling.
Yeah.
Now you are just before you're falling in, you know you're falling and you're still falling in, but you know that you're falling in, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's okay too. You're still a little bit waking up, little bit. And that's okay. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. But
Okay.
But the beauty is now is I, the being, am aware. That is why we really have to step out of the concepts of the mind. Until then, you cannot know yourself with clarity. You just cannot know yourself with clarity. And that is why we keep saying, step out of the mind first before you do anything else. Because there's a constant narrative of who am I and what life is like, what life is about. That mind is constantly telling you and describing to you and giving it to you, dishing it to you all the time.
Sister, then why these emotions are created, like happiness, sad? These are created, right? There might be some reason behind it, right? Why we have it. What is the
Very clear. Baba says, no, every day they're recorded. You're not creating anything. They're recorded. See, this is the beauty you come to know with Baba's knowledge. You're not creating anything. Are you
like
creating
this one's
anything?
understanding? This one's understanding is the fear was created to alarm, right? Like to bring, like we always say, to bring close to Baba or bring close to your truth.
No, we don't say
The-
that fear was created to bring you close to your truth. No, no, we never said that. We said fear is a scripted emotion. Yeah? Fear is a scripted emotion. All these, even good and bad, like, yesterday we were saying, Baba told us, you have Vaishala, you have Shivala, you have Sukh, you have Dukh, everything in you. Remember? Who remembers? Hmm? Yeah? Yeah. Everything is pre-scripted. Then you can't blame yourself. This is what frees you from blaming yourself. Please, soul behind, Sister Priya, you're not creating these emotions. They're just recorded in you. So become free right now. Right now. In this moment, you're not the creator of it. Can you become free?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
So
Yeah,
free
this one is seeing now. This one is seeing, like, coming, like, earlier, still, right? Like, uh, Priya as a person, happy, sad, or whatever, right? Uh, impact is there, but it's not like it was previously. Like, there is an impact for sure,
Yeah.
but not like yes, holding on to. But I think this time was
Does the
firm
truth
and
need to be
observing it.
maintained? Does the truth need to be held on to or maintained?
This one was like bouncing back and forth, right? Like, one thought of sadness is coming, then one thought of, like, Baba's gyan is coming. He's like, who are you, this, are you this? And then that goes away, then that remains good, and then something happens, then comes again. It's like some other thing, not the same thing. So Maya was like trying to play around with this, like, but this one was like, Baba, aaj nahi chodungi. I'm going to hold on to you. This is coming again and again, again and again. This one was holding on continuously, yes, crying and holding on to. But then somehow it just, like, how one thing was like, this one wants to observe, like
The
not.
one who's observing, is he a creation of thoughts?
No,
No.
no.
So you really need to know yourself as that one who is and who cannot be created, who is eternal. Eternal means someone who cannot be created.
Got it.
True?
Mm-hmm.
So the real you is beyond creation and beyond destruction.
Mm.
Is that clear?
Yes.
So once I know me as that one that cannot be created by thoughts, and because I cannot be created by thoughts, I cannot be destroyed by thoughts.
Correct.
So then who's trying to create peace? Who's trying to create love? Who's trying to create joy? Who's trying to create relief?
Person. All person.
All thoughts. It's all just thoughts playing with each other.
Even then, even those things were also thoughts at the time. There was mixturity, 100% mixturity.
Yeah. Absolutely. But that's okay. You are that one who's beyond creation, beyond destruction, who can see even this whole play of these thought dolls in your mind, fighting for survival, eat with each other. The thoughts are. This doll wants to stay alive, but then this doll attacks, and this doll wants to stay alive, and that thought doll attacks, and then that thought doll wants to survive. So this thought doll attacks, and you are simply the observer of this entire play on the screen of your mind. It's really that simple. This is why we always say, very first step, soul has to separate from mind body. Soul is completely separate and different. You cannot mix the two.
I think, sister, today this eternal word kind of struck very, very hard. Like, it's not this one has heard first time, but somehow today is like, yeah, nothing can be created or destroyed. Why to, yeah.
Yeah. So one really has to know oneself what eternal means. Eternal means it cannot be created. Eternal means it cannot be destroyed. Eternal means it's not a creation of some thoughts. Eternal means I can observe all this scripted mind spontaneously arising. I am not creating it because somewhere there's another ego thought that is sitting there in the mind, that thought doll that is saying, I am the creator of these emotions, and that one is the one that is suffering.
Mm.
Yeah. And that righteous doll, righteous thought doll, is suffering the other not so righteous thought dolls. Yeah.
Sister, we listen to Gyan like every day pretty much. So sometimes this one doesn't have to put an effort to think anything. It just, the right thought comes at that time by itself,
And
right?
that is real spirituality.
Doesn't have to put any effort, right? Oh, this or like some bad thought will come and then immediately something right will come at that time, right? Like not like putting any effort or anything. So
But
don't
see,
know, is it
bad and good definition does not exist for the soul, huh?
agree. Yes.
Yeah. There's no bad and good. There's all just
So much of upheaval, right? Like this one was alone this vacation time by herself and feeling like, you know, the Lokik family left. And then the other thought is coming, Baba is saying, who is your real family? Tell me who is your real family, bache. And then the that thought went away. So don't know whether this is a thought talking to thought
No,
or
that's okay. If it's like Baba giving you a thought, that giving your mind a thought, that's okay, right? That's fine. You are still the observer of even these thoughts. Baba and you are silent. Baba is just giving a thought to your mind, and you, the soul, is just observing even that, just knowing that your truth is already combined with God. Yeah,
Mhm.
that is all. Yeah.
Sister, attendant also
Thank you.
can be understood like we are all forever fortunate.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is why the soul is forever fortunate, because it cannot be created and soul cannot be destroyed. I am the living life. I am life itself. Hmm?
Sister, can you simplify? I'm living life. It's not very clear. I kept churning about it. Earlier, I used to think you say living light, but now I'm
Light
hearing you
and
last
life.
few classes living life,
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
So how
Life.
is it living life? How the soul is living life?
Yeah.
Can you give us some
Yeah.
example?
Yeah. See, soul is formless, right? Vichitra. True? Everybody knows that. Baba tells us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this whole physical world and the world of thoughts is the world of forms, right? Even thought is a form, a subtler form than matter, but it's a form. True?
Yeah.
Because it's made up of words. Words are forms, forms which are created, which are basically all there recorded in the mind of the soul. Physical world is a matter. There is matter, all five elements of nature, and all those five elements come together and creates different forms. True?
Yeah.
Everybody aware so far? Yeah?
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Okay. Now, physical material world, five elements creating different elements and different elements together, creating different forms. Fine. Let's say nobody from the home of light, no life that is there comes to this physical world. What will happen? Hmm? Empty football field? Anybody who's giving life to any experience, anything can be experienced. Is there anybody there to experience it? No. Okay. Now let us say that the soul comes and it is now using a mind. Mind has also got a certain subtle form to it, right? And it has thoughts. Now let's say soul, when it comes in golden age, it is using the mind, right? Now, because the mind has not really any particular thoughts per se, so mind is quite quiet there, right? Now, soul is still there giving life to the mind, right? Giving life to whatever the purity of that mind may be, right? The purity of the soul using the pure mind. True? Now, everything in the material world is still lifeless. but they become objects for my experience. Who is experiencing it?
The soul.
The soul is
Mm.
experiencing it. Now comes our copperage. Now the thoughts as a form, they start to emerge. They start to emerge. Now, if the soul, see, this is why this drama is so beautiful. I just love it, huh? This is why now the soul is now coming under the spell of these thoughts, because soul is giving life. If soul was not there, thoughts of any consequence?
No.
No. Thoughts will just fall off like dead leaves because they have no life to give it any life to it, right?
Mm.
So now comes this thought, I. What is the first thought that comes in the language in Copper Age?
I and mine.
I and mine. I am this body. I am the body. These three words in the language. I am this, I am that, I am so and so, I am. All of these are just thoughts. But the one who's giving life to these thoughts is the soul. Now, soul begins to wear these costumes because it thinks that is me. Now, that mask you're wearing, that mask, if you take it off, it doesn't look alive. But someone who's like Rini wears that mask, then you will feel it's real because it's moving, it's shaking, it's got life to it because someone is wearing it, right? Rini, in limited ways, wearing that mask of that thought. True? So I wore the mask of the thought, I am the body. Now, thought or soul ko alag karna ek baar. Does that thought has any life in it if I, the soul, was not there wearing it? No. That is why there are 60,000 thoughts. Those thoughts which I identify with, they stick to me. The others, they just fall off because there's no life support to it. True? So who is the life? The formless one. The formless being is the life-giving force. That is me. Because I have no form, I cannot imagine myself. I cannot see myself like I can see the material world of matter because I am first and then everything else comes. So how can I see me? Because there's nothing before me to see me. There's only God, huh? That comes later. But until then, it's like I cannot see me because I am, everything else is there after me. Is that clear, Anshu?
Yes, sister.
Yeah, so I am that being. I am formless, motionless being that is giving life to the motions of this body, and that's giving life to the sound of this voice box, and that is giving life to the forms that experience that I can have through this material world and through these sense perceptions. I am that life force. I am that living being. Yeah. So knowing myself as that being, I am not changing. I am that changeless life force. But everything I experience, everything in my experience changes all the time. Whether it be mental process, whether it be emotional scripted, all of these, this whole script from Copper Age to Iron Age is just for this sake, that I can experience what I am not. That is the reason. That is the whole reason. Because only when I experience what I am not, I will know who I am.
So it's a game of hide and seek, sister.
Yeah, it's a game of knowing oneself, to be honest. To really know oneself, I need to experience what I am not, and then
Okay.
have God come and tell me both at the same time.
But still, the impact of what I am not, that is quite a bit still. I
Yeah,
admit
it is
it.
because, but it's still a lot less than before. See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That is
But
there.
but do you see how what I am not really wants to hold on to? See, I am greater than what I am. I still am more than the part of experience that is what I am not. See, this scripted mind, that is the nature of it. It wants to stick. But when I really see it in the light of the life that I am with Baba, and I see it with Baba's eyes, that's why Baba says, what's the problem? No problem. If if you did something, you did it. It was in the drama. Now don't just be careful for the future, means just pay attention to who you are now. Now, but there is another, this, what I am not identity sitting here, no, that will listen to it with a careless ear. And Baba is talking to the soul and saying, just wake up, child, see who you are. It's all inside of you. And you are this tiny, tiny seed. And you're giving life to everything. Right? Yeah, Anand ki sthiti. The blissful being, observer of the duality of the mind. I am absolute truth, observer of the duality of the mind. Confluence age is the only time when I can truly know this. When I can truly be the absolute one in life, in living drama. I can live it. I can live my absoluteness at this time. When there is one set of energies pulling the mind down, and there's another set of energies trying to lift everything back up. Two energies are constantly at play, and I'm the observer, the consciousness within which the game of energies go on. This has to be clear, otherwise confluence age is also
Becomes the age
Going
of
away, about to vanish, just any time. कोई
yeah,
घंटा बजेगा. The Baba is saying, no, I'm holding that bell. It's about to be. Just be ready.
So
yeah.
Didi, why to
And
unknown
Baba
thoughts?
Bilan Murli Baba said, no, you are getting ready, doing Kanghi. What I'll do? If I'll open it, see your who you are not, still that is pulling you. And who you are, that is so ultimate beauty within you. Live it. Just
Yeah,
live in
but
it.
no, both are in you, even better. Yes, Milind?
So Didi, why do unknown thoughts come?
Unknown?
Sometimes unknown thoughts. Sometimes we get immersed in some thoughts.
Yeah.
We don't have any.
Yeah. So we do get immersed. That is where we really need to step back and not be immersed in the mind, because mind has both of these scripts. That's not its fault. It's just the nature of the mind. It's supposed to hold that script for the soul to come back to play once again. But now at this time in confluence age, I have to step away from the scripted mind and know that I'm neither good nor bad in the mind. I'm neither preferences or resistances in the mind. I'm none of these experiences, because mind is the realm of experiences. Yeah? And soul is the subtlest. The subtlest dimension of the self that I am is beyond all the experiences. Yeah. Then I wear the layer of experiences, of thoughts. Then I become little more dense. And then when I wear the layer of the body on top of it, then I become extremely dense. But it is all the soul experiencing all these three dimensions. Yeah. The whole game is not to be so immersed in mind, which is why Baba gives his company to us, because he's the ocean of silence. And he gives me that absolute truth of who I am, so that this noisy mind can be, I'm not immersed in that noisy mind as a person, which is also nothing but some total of thoughts and sanskars. That is all this person is, some total of thoughts and sanskars. Yeah. That is why Baba is telling us, just be with me. I will, and with Baba, what happens in self-observation, you start to see this process of thinking, feeling, doing, and you can start to see it from a distance, and you can start to see it separate from you. And this is where the dissolving process, the melting process of the person is happening. This identity, sum total of thoughts and sanskars, is dissolving. Yeah. That is why Baba is saying, don't be so immersed in your mind. Give your mind to me. Why are you holding on to it? Use your mind. I'm giving my everything to you. Just use mine. You don't have to use anything of yours. Just give everything that you have, give it to me, and take everything I have from me to you. Yeah.
Yep.
But our deepest attachment is a thought. We are so attached to the thinking mind and the feeling mind body. So attached. Actually, we are even attached to the thought of attachment. So we just need to step away and know that I am just thoughtless. Literally, there's no other way than to know you, the being, is thoughtless. And then we are playing. We are experiencing words, we are experiencing language, we are experiencing poetry, we are experiencing humor, we are experiencing darkness, we are experiencing light, we are experiencing everything. But I'm none of that. See, you know how Baba uses language in such beautiful way. So much imagery, so much poetry, so much humor, so much strictness sometimes. I mean, he just plays with words. He's like, I can see as a Baba's just enjoying language. You know, can you not see that in Murli? Baba is just loving to play with words. He loves the play of words. So much, I mean, he uses, no, वो क्या है? क्या बोलते हैं? 2 words को हमेशा rhyme करके बोलते हैं ना, rhyming words.
Yeah.
So he's also having fun with language.
So many ways changes the same thing over and over.
Yeah, like mouse and cat, who can think of it? I mean, who can think of it? It is God's, I mean, supreme intelligence.
हिंदी में उसको तुकबंदी बोलते हैं, right? तुकबंदी.
Ah, okay. But it's really amazing to see how Baba uses language in such a beautiful way. And he himself is language-less, thought-less.
Sister, he uses for us to understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
कान को ऐसे नहीं पकड़ो तो इधर से पकड़ता है ना, कि ऐसे समझा दो बच्चों को, सिंप्लीफाई, स्पून फीडिंग कर दो.
He knows that children are of all different parts recorded in them. Some may understand more scientific language, so he becomes a scientist, become a spiritual scientist. Some children may understand poetry more, and then he becomes more poet. Some children may understand grihastic
Sister, he
language.
uses this word barrister almost in daily, Murli. I don't know why. Why he's so attached to barrister word.
He becomes a lawyer. So he knows that maybe that mind will understand lawyer language. That's okay. So Baba is using variety of different ways to give the one message of who am I? And who do you belong to? Just one message. Isn't that the greatest teacher you can ever have?
Even to make us understand, sister, who am I? He sometimes says, I'm a teeny tiny point of light. And other times he says, you're being of light.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's telling us, who are you? Do you see? You can, like I am. He's coming in Brahma's body and telling me how to play with body and words, how to play with language, how to live in life and play your part. He's telling us through Brahma's body. He's coming into actions and telling
So
us.
this one bumped to a video, sister, today. There is somebody, a soul, who got like award of like best teacher, and that person was saying he designed his lectures in a such a way that students cannot forget. So this one is thinking that's why Baba used the rhyming words, so we cannot forget in a humorous way, right? Baba uses all those words, so we don't forget what Baba's real message is.
Yeah, but Baba wants us to go beyond the feeling behind those words.
Correct.
Baba doesn't want us to get stuck in words. He's just using it so that at least mind doesn't go into the scripted language of Copper Age and Iron Age, but at least starts using its Baba's language. But then don't get stuck there. Now go beyond that also. Now Baba says, okay, now you're remembering all of Murli. Your bhasha has become Murli ki bhasha. Now go beyond those bhav of those words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now understand, what am I trying to tell you behind these words? So when Baba is saying first lesson of I, it has to do with the first lesson of I, that you constantly keep forgetting who you are. Because the word I is pointing at, every thought is using the word I, whether it's silently using it or whether it's loudly using it. Every thought comes with the association of the letter I or mine. Every thought, without failure, without exception. Yeah? And when first time the letter I was used in Copper Age, it was just to point at a certain object. You know, some language is needed. Now we don't have telepathic power. So we need some language to communicate with each other. So language was created. And in that language, I was the letter to say, I am doing this or I am, but I became that I as time went by. You know?
The person identity grew.
Yeah. So first thought did not create a person. First, it was just associated with body. But towards Iron Age, beginning and end of Copper Age, that I became someone.
We came in its Sarup.
Yeah, I becomes this body and mind image, an image of the self.
There is a major role of the language.
Sorry?
There is a major role of the language.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is what Baba is telling us, this I that is pointing. Now Baba is taking this one word. In how many Murlis he uses this? This one word, he wants it to be transformed. Because he knows once this one word is one letter, not even word, one letter is transformed. It's divinized. Children will be out of the mess. That does not mean that we don't use a letter I. Because we can keep saying, I may not use a letter I, but I'm still speaking this one karke bhi, I'm Rini, Rini, Rini. I can still do that. Yeah. So this is the attention where needs to be paid. Whilst you are going through the motions of the activities through the day, if you, the being, is not paying attention that Baba and I, and there is this identity of the thoughts, that is, I'm constantly observing them. I'm living a life of self-observation. As I'm going through the motions, my body is going through the activity and movement, and my mind is going through the emotional and the mental motions constantly. I and Baba are together, going from One experience to the other, one experience to the other at both mind and body level. But Baba and I are together. Everything is changing in my experience. Every moment it's changing. But the one that is going through the motions of this experience, one who's giving life to all these experiences, is the only one that is the unchanging factor amidst all this change. I am that life-giving force. This has to be seen. Then you can be doing anything and everything. And you're still. And you will see your mind is becoming more, very, very silent. I'm seeing nowadays the mind is becoming more like, चुप करके बैठा है. उसको मौका मिलते ही बस मैं बोलूंगा. उसको पता है कि कोई देख रहा है उसको. It knows that it's being observed. So it's just keeping quiet, waiting for me to take my attention away. So then there's a certain sense of feeling of, I don't even have a word for it in the dictionary for that feeling. It's like I can see, it's just sitting with its lips sealed. It's just waiting for an opportunity, but it can't because it's just got no power in that sense to speak. And it's also beginning to enjoy more and more soul's silence. It's wanting
more obedient.
Yeah, more obedient. Yeah,
that's being observed. Yeah, when it's being observed.
Yeah. So it's becoming more and more obedient. Although somewhere it's not liking being obedient, but it is becoming obedient. Does that make sense? It's in that phase right now, the mind. But either soul doesn't matter. I'm not here to fix it. I'm just more interested in my truth with Baba. And I'm just enjoying my own nature of who I am, my swarup of silence, being embodiment of silence. And in that, actions can happen, speech can happen, everything can happen. Really more and more interested in just being with Baba, and he'll tell me what next, what next, what next, what next. Just being more interested in being with him. Yeah? You will see that will start to be the case. More you detach from the concepts of your mind, what is left is you. What was before that was also you. And what was in the middle of it was also you. Yeah. Know the I that you are, the real I. Yeah.
दीदी बाबा
Yes, yes.
बाबा इसको कहते देही अभिमानीपना कहाँ है, कहाँ तक है, तो हमें देही अभिमानीपन को ले आना है.
हाँ, बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल, absolutely. Being conscious as a soul, aware of the mind's mechanisms. Mind को भी देख रही है और body को भी देख रही है, move होते हुए पूरा time. And mind को भी देख रही है, उसके processes को. But I am that being, more interested in my truth that is silent, that is totally independent of the mind's mechanisms and body's movements, that silent me, that still me, combined with Baba. Now come into action. So you will find there is peace in your bodily movements also. You're not harbad darbad. There is peace in your bodily movements. There can be fastness in your action, but not anxiety in your action. Yeah? There can be fastness. Nahi bolenge. What is the word? I'm just creating my own vocabulary. Anyways, all language is created by the mind, so it doesn't matter. So it's like...
Your hands and body are moving fast or you're walking fast.
Yeah, you can walk fast, but without any anxiety in your walk. But there'll be enthusiasm in your walk. not rush. One is rush in your walk, one is enthusiasm. One is rush in your words, one is enthusiasm in your words. Right?
दादी जान
Yes.
दादी जानकी दादी भी एक बार कह रहे थे, अनुभव शेयर किया था, जब दादी बाहर गए थे आउट ऑफ इंडिया, तो कह रहे थे वहां पे सारे बोलते थे हरी अप, मतलब जल्दी जल्दी करो हर काम। दादी का आदत नहीं थे बिल्कुल। दादी वो भी अटेंशन रखे कैसे, मतलब एक्शन में जल्दी जल्दी करते हुए भी कैसे मैं स्टिल हूँ।
Still
फिर
home.
दादी जब इंडिया में आए वापस, फिर दादी का वही आदत था हर काम जल्दी जल्दी करने का। तो सारी देख के कहते नहीं दादी आराम से, एक एक काम आराम से करो। हैं, तो दादी भी यहाँ पे भी दादी ने सीख लिया है, मतलब दोनों ही ठीक है, लेकिन मैं फील।
Very beautiful, very beautiful. That's what Baba is telling us, that know that it is that zeal and enthusiasm of the constant zeal and enthusiasm of the soul that is moving the body. I'll tell you very simple belief system that happens. You know, we take nap because we wake up early in the morning, right? So generally you take a nap.
Can you use this word, zeal and enthusiasm, for the
Sorry?
soul?
Sorry?
Can you use this enthusiasm, zeal, for the soul?
Yeah. Soul is eternally zealous and eternally enthusiastic. Eternally. Because soul loves being life itself, right? Yeah. It's not the mind's understanding of zeal and enthusiasm, okay? Yeah, I mean, that question can also come. It's not the mind's understanding of zeal and enthusiasm, which is temporary, short-lived, based on external stuff. It is soul, zeal, and
Yeah,
enthusiasm.
because till now we have been using mind, these words for mind only.
Yeah, actually, soul, zeal, and enthusiasm is very silent. Is very silent. Yeah, that is what it is.
You should tell what you were sharing before. You were just sharing something.
What was I on?
I don't know. You were something. And meantime, I remember Dadi's word. She used to say, "Hari bari kari." तुमने यदि हरि की तो तुम बरी करोगे करोगे। यदि तुम हरि करते हो तो वरी करनी है, वरी करोगे। ये this was also she shared many times.
So it's not a hurried action. It's not, but it's a fast action. Depends on the need of the hour. If the need of the hour is to move the body fast, either soul will move the body fast. If the need of the hour is that quickness of the movement is not needed, then I will not do it quickly, because either being am fine either way. Yeah. And even if you come into the habit of doing it fast whilst being conscious as a soul, fantastic. But that's the checking only you can do. Yeah.
So you said you have a simple way. That's where you were about to say something, and then.
It's about nap time, right? Nap time after.
Yeah. Thank you, Anjira sister.
Yeah. So there's a belief system that if you don't take a nap, that means you're tired. Yeah. So I observed that with Baba. There have been days when this one's body has not been able to get a nap time. Yeah. And then suddenly around 4 o'clock, mind will say, Aaj nap nahi liya na, you're tired. You're just tired because wo bhale ho nahi ho, but just because you did not take a nap, you're tired. And I'm watching it with Baba. I'm like, yes, body may be feeling that, but really it's just a belief system. If I don't give it life, what happens? Let's see. No fatigue. It just evaporated. If either being do not give life to this belief system, because mind remembers I woke up early, then I need a nap every day.
Just to hear there are no naps.
Yeah. So yeah, because you're working, right? Yeah, yeah. So that is why we like this one's body, this one does give this body a nap. Yeah. So it's like, it's a matter of just not giving life to anything that mind speaks. And you will find your changeless self with Baba. That's the natural consequence of it. And then even the intellect, the I, the soul can use it properly. Today, the intellect is buried in the mind, is a slave of the mind. Which is, sanskars are the slave of the mind. Mind is the king. And to dissolve its kingship, you need to just know your truth before and beyond it. And the one that really rules the kingdom is I am mind and body. This thought, which has many, many versions of it, whole language upon language created upon it in the mind. That's why Baba is saying, I and the consciousness of mind, I did this. This is my service and my task. At the time of accumulating, you feel that you are accumulating, but it is automatically deducted from your account of accumulation and added to the account of waste automatically. This subtle machinery is automatic.
This is the first time Baba said this. Another subtle machinery of debiting and crediting.
Yeah. Yeah. For the part, it will be very clear what part will be based on, to what extent have you really, and one line that Baba has said, I really wanted to make sure that is read, which is very clear, it will make everything. Baba said, this subtle machinery is automatic. Baba made this happen. This is Baba's service. It is not my service. You should not say, I did this. Do not speak about it again and again. I did this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Do not constantly say, I. Say Baba, Baba, and you will accumulate multi-million fold. If you say I or have any consciousness of mind, it will be transferred to your account of waste. This automatic machinery is so fast that you're not even aware of it. Only those who are detached, now please underline this line, yeah? Only those who are detached from the consciousness of mind. So that means I and mind will come. But you, the soul, is detached from this consciousness. So my mind is saying, somebody said something, my mind is saying, I did this. बोल नहीं रही हूँ मुंह से, चुप बैठी हूँ और बोल रही हूँ मुंह से तो बाबा ने कराया है. But internally, my mind is saying, I did this. Yeah. And then I, the being, am immersed in my mind. And I'm feeling that thought to be me. And then I'm saying, Baba did this. Then what did Baba say? That fair air quality souls come to Baba, very few. Why? Baba is mixed with the consciousness of I. Now, what is the things in self-observation? Baba and I together. No, not ashamed. When my mind wants to take credit, not ashamed at all, because I have no vibrations of shame, I the being. I have no vibrations of attachment to any thought, I the being, thoughtless being. I'm Nashto Moha Smriti Swarup. In my Smriti, I am completely Nashto Moha from anything mind says. Nothing of mind feels like me, mine, or I. It just feels like it. Lifeless, it. Because the one who is feeling happy or sad based on whatever is coming from outside, maybe praise or criticism, my mind is feeling it. That is not me or I. This is the detachment from the consciousness of mind. Now, in that, I may not even need to say Baba did it. Or I may say, depends what will come from that space. But what I'm observing lately now, it's not too much coming, Baba did it, Baba did, not as much as before. Because the soul knows Baba did it. Yeah.
Sister, when we are in the, sorry, sister, in the practical world, like when we're interacting at work, we are constantly saying I, but deep down or subconsciously, we have to know I, the soul.
I, the
right?
soul.
But
Very
like in emails and conversations or anytime when we are talking, yes, I have to get this work done. I'll deliver it to you, or I'll do that. So
who is that I? See yourself as that living light, giving life to this experience.
yeah, we say I, but then in the back of the mind, we have to remember I, the soul.
Not in the
We're
back
just
of
doing,
the mind.
like in the awareness, we need to have.
Again, you get caught up in the mind only.
No, in the awareness, like
Yeah.
Baba
I,
is
the
Karan,
awareness. I,
right.
the awareness. Yeah.
And plus, Baba is the Karan-karavanhaar. He's the one doing it. And I'm not even
It has
doing
to
it.
come from very clear understanding. How is he doing it? Otherwise, this will become another bhakti style.
Yeah, no.
How is he doing it?
और दीदी इतना मोह, इतना अटैचमेंट है, उसका नाम दे देते, निभाना पड़ता है क्या है, निमित्त है, बाबा ने निमित्त बनाया, तो अटैचमेंट है, उसको रॉयल रूप में माया अलग अलग भाषा से रॉयल लैंग्वेज यूज करते हैं।
बिल्कुल, बाबा करण करावनहार है तो बहुत यूज करती है माया. How is Baba Karan-karavanhaar? How do I know Baba? Logically also I should know. How is Baba Karan-karavanhaar?
Because the thought, we know that once we are in remembrance of Baba and Baba and I are doing it together, because a goal at work or goal wherever is Swaki Seva. We are serving ourselves first when we are in that situation. And for the work also, it's Baba's service, not my service. I'm not going there.
You say all these words, it's Baba's service. I'm going there for Baba's service. Everything can be said by Maya.
But when it's coming into action, it's having that, being in the company of Baba, doing the work together. And
With
when the
Baba.
things are getting done.
With Baba, what starts to happen is that I, the being with Baba, will feel that I, this being, combined with the Father, there is no Rini in between there. This Rini identity is just seen from a distance with Baba. These thoughts which feed this identity are seen from a distance with Baba. So like somebody's calling, like, Mom, can you please do this for me? Right? And when they are saying, Mom, can you please do this for me? In that moment, I'm not going there as mom to do things for them.
Didi, this one was about to share the same thing. When some scene has, in the drama has passed, and you had that detachment at that time, right? You have clear vision that this person identity or this character had this, very much insecure about a certain thing, right? And couldn't, get over of the इनसिक्योर वो इनसिक्योरिटी से बाहर नहीं आ पा रहा था करेक्टर, बिकॉज पर्सन वाज ओनली प्रैक्टिसिंग फॉर सच अ लॉन्ग टाइम एंड कुडंट गेट ओवर इट, राइट? बट उस जब डिटैचमेंट एक्चुअल में हैपन हुआ ना, तो वो कैसे वो एकदम से डिसॉल्व हो गया, वो ट्रूथ लगा ही नहीं। जैसे कि कितने सारे एग्जाम्पल व्हेन you were Baba was explaining about the detachment, right? तो वो इतने सारे एग्जाम्पल आगे घूमने लगे एंड एक पीछे से माइंड आया, देखो यू डिड दैट डिटैचमेंट, राइट? देन दिस वन इनसाइड बाबा, इवन दिस थॉट इज सरेंडर टू यू। डिटैचमेंट के ऊपर भी ये इन इस एक्सपीरियंस की भी जो डिटैचमेंट है, राइट, वो है रियल। जब उसमें सब कुछ ही डिसॉल्व हो गया, कुछ भी हुआ ही नहीं, बस वो हैपन हुआ एंड सोल ने बस ऑब्जर्व किया उसको, राइट? कि जैसे इस करेक्टर की एक अटैचमेंट, एक इनसिक्योरिटी थी कि एक किसी भी सोल का पार्ट है वो दूसरे से ज्यादा अटैच नहीं हो, राइट? दूसरे से ज्यादा अटैच नहीं हो, इससे ज्यादा इस करेक्ट जो ये सोल पार्ट प्ले कर रही है, इस करेक्टर से ज्यादा अटैच नहीं हो। और जब भी वो होता है वो इनसिक्योरिटी आती थी, बार बार आती थी, बार बार आती थी, बार बार वो करेक्टर ही प्रैक्टिस कर रहा है और वो एवरी टाइम एक्शन में आ रहा था, एवरी टाइम एक्शन में आ रहा था, और वो बढ़ रहा था संस्कार। लाइक यू वर मेंशनिंग का कि वो संस्कार पक्का होता जाता है या फिर वो संस्कार बिल्कुल डिसॉल्व होता जाता है, इससे पता चलता है। तो वो अगर बाबा के साथ देखा कि क्या सब इल्यूजन, एक इल्यूजन से अगर मिंगल हो भी रहा है तो नथिंग इज रियल, वो तो रियल ही नहीं है, होने दो। सोल को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, होने दो। सोल इज सो केयरफ्री विद बाबा, क्योंकि उसको पता है सच्चे संबंध तो बाबा के साथ है, राइट? अगर वो सोल बाबा के साथ संबंध में नहीं है, किसी और के साथ है, तो मतलब वो तो और ही ज्यादा उसकी पर्सन आइडेंटिटी पक्की हो रही है। तो अगर मैं एज ए ऑब्जर्वर, अगर मेरी कुछ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है तो मेरी बस इतनी ही है, बाबा ने जो दिखाया उस वक्त, कि यू जस्ट स्टे इन योर ट्रूथ एंड सी द अदर सोल इन देयर ट्रूथ। तो वो भी उस बंधन से मुक्त होंगे जो उनके अंदर मिंगलिंग चल रही है, राइट? तो वो उस वक्त बाबा ने ये क्लियर किया था। ऐसे कितने सारे उस वक्त जो घूमे, वो सारे फ्लैश की तरह माइंड की स्क्रीन पे दोबारा चले कि वो डिटैचमेंट हैपन हुआ, राइट? तो ये वाला इस मोमेंट पे वो भी सब सोल ने देखा कि ये जो डूइंग का संस्कार कि तुमने किया, एक बैक ऑफ द माइंड अभी अभी आया कि तुम यू कैन शेयर दिस। बट जब अभी सोल ने बाबा के साथ, बाबा आपको कराना हो तो ये एकदम प्योर स्पेस से करवाना, कि ये भी जो थॉट आ रहा है ये भी आपको समर्पित, क्योंकि दिस वन हैज डन नथिंग, was just stayed in that truth with you. So yeah, so this thing happened, everything dissolves, कि कुछ ट्रुथ लग ही नहीं रहा होता, जो चल रहा है बाहर दिख रहा है, बाहर होता हुआ उसके बाद मन में जो चल रहा है वो कुछ अपने आप सब मर्ज होता जाता है थोड़ा। और जैसे आपने बोला ना, मन शांत हो जाता है, बिल्कुल मन एकदम शांत हो जाता है, और आत्मा उस मन की शांति को भी ऑब्जर्व कर रही है।
Yeah. So that is why it's very important that I, the being, when I'm combined with Baba, logically I know what happens is, what happens now? Logically also.
ये सब सेवा, सर्व सेवा हुई, स्व की सेवा हुई ना, सब में अपनी चेकिंग हुई, तो सब स्व की सेवा हुई एंड विश्व सेवा, evolution of drums will happen in that state only.
Yeah. And that is why it's very, very important to know that whenever, because the whole thing revolves around this self-image, everything. And anything that threatens this self-image is what the other thoughts are constantly trying to protect. Yeah? So which is why when Baba is saying, I am Karan-karavanhaar, means what? Why is Baba Karan-karavanhaar? Baba is Karan-karavanhaar because only in his company truly can I become detached from the mind. Only in his company truly can I know me beyond any story, beyond any fictional play that is going on of this body and mind. Only in his company is it possible. And then with him, combined with him, the act is being played. Otherwise, Baba Karan-karavanhaar word mind can use. But there's no knowing of it. Why Baba is Karan-karavanhaar? Because without him, it is constantly the fictional character using the body. But with him, I can be aware of this fictional character, these fictional thoughts, these fictional feelings, these fictional emotions, these fictional desires, these fictional likes, these fictional dislikes, these fictional good and bad. I can see all of this with Baba. And then I can use his virtues, his powers, his way of seeing, his way of thinking, his way of being. That is why he is Karan-karavanhaar. This has to be really clearly seen and understood why Baba is Karan-karavanhaar.
दीदी आज एक बात समझ में आया, मैं आत्मा ज्ञान पहले नहीं लिया, मन ही पहले ज्ञान लिया, इसीलिए मन ही वो रावण है जो अहंकारी वाला जो ज्यादा ज्ञानी वाला है।
बिल्कुल
आत्मा बहुत बाद में ज्ञान लिया, जैसे राम और रावण का अंतर बताते हैं ना, तो आत्मा जो राम है तो बहुत बाद में एक ज्ञान ले रहे हैं, पहले तो रावण ही उल्टा ज्ञान लेके अहंकारी मान बैठे हैं।
वो भी पार्ट है ड्रामा का. That too is the part of drama.
Wow, sister. Like, this is eye-opening. Yes, that's true. मन ने पहले ज्ञान लिया.
और दीदी बाबा कहते हैं ना, जैसे शक्तियां जो 8 शक्तियां बाबा ने दी है, ये मन ही पहले यूज किया था सारे बाहर के लिए, अभी लग रहा है सारे खुद के लिए एक एक शक्तियां यूज करना है, परखने की शक्ति स्वयं के प्रति, है ना, सहन शक्ति, निर्णय करने की शक्ति, जो झाड़ में दिखाई दे रहे, तो कैसे मैं एक एक शक्ति को अप्लाई करी बाबा के साथ.
बिल्कुल 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 बिल्कुल. And that is why it is so beautiful now with understanding. When I say Baba is Karan-karavanhaar, there's authenticity. That of course I can't do it. I don't have the means to do it. Because everything that I have is already surrendered to Baba. It's not worth a penny, right? And what I am now empty vessel. So now whatever Baba gives, I use. I have no ego. I have no good or bad. I'm absolute. So whatever Baba gives, I use. His virtues, his powers, his way of seeing, it's all his. So then when you say, of course Baba did it, there's authenticity behind your words. Yeah? Very good. Yes, Sangeeta.
No, I didn't raise hand.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Anshu, were you saying something? Otherwise, we close.
Yeah, I was saying Karan-karavanhaar Baba means actually I can't do anything. I was never doing anything honestly claiming and having a habit to credit. But now at this new understanding point, Baba is Karan-karavanhaar means I can't do anything. And if I'm doing it also, it's in script. And if I'm combined with Baba, so his purest mind, his way of, purest guiding me, and he's saying, use my sanskara, use me. That's how it becoming his Karan-karavanhaar. Otherwise, I can't do anything. Actually, I was never ever doing anything. Now this is clear.
Yeah, earlier it was script moving me. Now I've given the script to Baba because I don't want to use the script. So now who's moving me? Baba is moving me.
So easy.
Yeah, so
So
easy.
beautiful. So beautiful.
And so once this is clearly understood, then it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's either the script moving. Now I don't use the script. So now Baba moves. So now it's not artificial just to say, oh, Baba is doing it. Yeah. I mean, it's better than not saying, huh? Otherwise, It's a yukti Baba gives in the beginning, as sister said, to the scripted mind. Yeah, Baba gives that yukti. But now it's time to go beyond the yuktis and be the smriti. Yeah? Yes, Nishi. Yeah, Baba is writing my script now. Very good. Yes, Nishi. Okay. I guess you're not there. All right, so we'll close it here. So in this moment, just really see so clearly. With Baba, we are sitting. With Baba, we are doing everything. He's constantly present to make sure that we don't use the scripted mind, but we use his clean mind. And I'm this bodiless, light, living life force. And that life force that I am, now I give life to Baba's thoughts, Baba's feelings, Baba's emotions as mine. They are mine. For this tiny star, everything of Baba's belongs to me, the tiny star. So now, don't think. He's there. He'll give you the thought to think. He'll give you the words to speak. Use him. Take advantage of him. That's your birthright. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba.
Om
Baba.
Shanti.
Thank you, Baba.
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 Thank you, Baba.